Politicians like to say, the only poll that matters is on election day. But you know what? They don't really mean it. After all, for politicians and for their party strategists, other polls matter too. As a matter of fact, political parties use opinion polls to determine just about everything they do, from what kinds of ads they'll run, to what kind of policies they'll promote, to what kind of voters they'll target. Indeed, having a good pollster on your team can often make the difference between winning or losing an election. So yeah, polling is important to a political party. And that's what I want to talk about. How political parties will use polls during this election to help them craft a winning strategy. Sounds like fun, right? But before I get into the fun strategic stuff, let me be crystal clear about one thing. The polls I'm talking about are not the kind of political polls you'll see splashed all over the media during the next few weeks. Those media polls, sometimes called horse race polls, tend to focus on who is ahead and who is behind. And yes, journalists and pundits love horse race polls because they give them something to write about and because they help them to make their predictions. But if you're a political strategist, those public media polls are basically irrelevant. Well, for one thing, some polling companies give the media their polls for free, meaning they sometimes cut corners to save money. And this could negatively impact on a public poll's quality and reliability. And not all pollsters are created equal. Some pollsters might use sloppy methodology. These are just a couple of the reasons as to why public opinion polls in the media sometimes get it spectacularly wrong. Plus, even if public polls are accurate, they still only give us a superficial glimpse of voter attitudes. To get a fuller, more accurate understanding of what voters are really thinking requires a deeper, more thorough analysis, more thorough than just simply asking, which party do you support? This is why political parties commission their own polls, usually referred to as internal polls. And by the way, political parties pay a lot of money for those internal polls, which means pollsters have a huge financial incentive to get their numbers right. And a good pollster knows how to ask the right kind of questions to the right kind of demographics to compile the right kind of data. It's this data which parties then use to craft their strategies. For instance, pollsters will often use their surveys to seek out what are called anger points. To show you what I mean, let me use a completely hypothetical example. Let's say a Conservative Party pollster discovers the Liberals hold a 5-point lead. But he also discovers through his questions that many Canadians who say they support the Liberals are really angry about a little-known, unpublicized plan to slap a tariff on imported kumquats. Aha! What the pollster has discovered here is a potential Liberal weakness, a weakness that can be exploited. Armed with this anger point, our hypothetical pollster can recommend the Conservatives run a series of ads aggressively connecting the Liberals to their unpopular kumquat policy. That could cause the Liberal lead to shrink. The other thing a party pollster will do is look for hidden trends, such as tracking the attitudes of undecided voters. If a pollster discovers, for example, that when undecided voters finally make up their mind, they're more likely to side with the Conservatives than with the Liberals, then that means the Conservatives have a good chance to quickly gain momentum. A pollster would also find out why undecideds are leaning to the Conservatives, so the party can then fine-tune its message to keep winning them over. The bottom line is, internal polling isn't about finding out which party is winning, nor is it about predicting an election's outcome. It's about helping a political party find a path to victory. So the next time a polling company asks for your political views, you should be thrilled. It means for once a political party out there actually does care about what you think. My name is Gerry Nicholls, and I care about what you think too. Leave your comments below. Let me know your opinion on public polls. Do you believe them? Do they influence you? Have you ever been contacted by a pollster? Anyway, thanks for watching.